Virgo, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of November. So before I jump into this, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign. So it's the zodiac sign that rules your first house, also known as your ascendant. This is how other people perceive you, especially when they first meet you. This is still applicable for your sun sign, which is how you express yourself, and then also your moon sign, which is how you process everything internally through that emotional lens. So really understanding all three will give you a better picture on how the month is going to play out for you. We have a lot going on, so I'm just going to jump right into this. Right away on the 1st at 8:47 in the morning Eastern Time, we have the new moon in the sign of Scorpio. For you, Scorpio rules your house of communication, siblings. This could be short distance travel, neighbors, things like that, everything that's kind of close in proximity. Scorpio is a very deep, passionate, transformational zodiac sign. So it's ruled by Pluto, so it's all about change. It embraces change. And so there might be some sort of deep, passionate conversations that you're having. There could be transformational conversations that you're having. This is a sun in conjunction, so it's a lot of expressing how you feel. So kind of think of it through that lens. It is going to easily flow with working on your ideal relationship. And so when you think about your significant other, what does that relationship look like? If you're not in that kind of relationship, what does that ideal relationship look like? Saturn is retrograde right now, so you're doing a lot of internal work trying to figure out, okay, what kind of relationship do I want? And now what I'm getting here is if I'm expressing myself in a certain way, in like this deep, passionate way, that's going to align with getting clear on that relationship. So it feels a lot like you're going to be able to take that Scorpio energy and pull it into this relationship or pull it into working on the relationship. The only challenging aspect I see here is the way that you're expressing yourself right now. It's going to create challenges to making changes in your house of children, hobbies, passions, things like that. So it is a challenge. You can work with the energy. You just have to put the effort into it. But something about the way that you're expressing yourself right now does not align with making any changes there. That doesn't mean it doesn't align with that house. It just doesn't align with making any changes there. And then we have Mercury enter the sign of Sagittarius. So that happens on the 2nd at 3:18 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so for you, Sagittarius rules your fourth house of home. And so Mercury in Sagittarius is a lot of conversation, a lot of positivity, positive thinking, big picture. What do you want your home life to look like? How do you want to express yourself? What does that all mean for you? Because Mercury is not just communication, it's also about the way you understand things. And so I like to see it sitting in your fourth house in this way, and it's going to conjunct the moon in Scorpio. So it's going to fully align with these deep, passionate ways that you're expressing yourself and expressing how you feel about things. And so part of that expression could be how you feel about your home environment. We do have Mercury in Sagittarius trine Mars in Cancer. And so Mars in Cancer for you is sitting in your house of friendships. When you think about these positive conversations at home, maybe even growth conversations that you want to experience or the way that you want to grow your home, it's going to fully align with any kind of action that you're taking with your friends. So it's going to help you get clear on what kind of relationship you want here. So think your relationship goals. What does that ideal relationship look like? The way that you're talking about home, the way that you're thinking about your home environment easily blends with that energy. It's also going to create an opportunity for you to make changes with children, with your passion projects, hobbies, things like that. The only place where I see any kind of challenge here is the Mercury in Sagittarius will be opposite Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so Uranus retrograde in Taurus is sitting in your ninth house of growth and expansion. So there's changes that have been taking place for a while. And this is going to be directly opposite that energy. So when you think about your home environment and what you're communicating here or what your understanding is, it's just making it difficult for any kind of changes to take place relative to your growth. And then on the 3rd, we have Mars enter the sign of Leo. And so that is going to happen at 11:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And so Mars in Leo for you is sitting in your 12th house. 12th house is your inner self. And so thinking about things like your spiritual side, the way that you see yourself, the conversations that you have with yourself, this Mars and Leo energy does indicate that you're going to take some sort of internal action. There's something that you're looking to do that might take you out of your comfort zone, because Mars likes to act. It also likes to separate things. And so there might be something here. There might be an old belief system that you're doing away with. There might be something here that you're releasing that just doesn't serve you anymore. This is something internal to you. And it's really that Mars wants to cut it out. And during this Mars and Leo transit, there will be a trine to Mercury and Sagittarius. So whatever internal action that you're taking here is easily going to flow with the conversations that you're having in your home or about your home. It's going to easily flow with whatever goals, or getting clear on the relationship goals that you have. And so whatever action that you're taking, again, easily blends with those relationship goals that you're trying to get clear on. It's creating an opportunity for more changes to take place that are meant to help you grow and expand. That's positive. I do like the Mars entering Leo for you. The only place that I see is, well, I see two. Okay, so one is the opposite Pluto in Capricorn. So whatever internal action that you're taking, it is going to be contradicting, or just contrary to any kind of change that's happening relative to children, hobbies, passion projects, maybe even short-term relationships, things like that. The other area where it's going to be a little bit challenging is this internal action that you're taking. It's going to create obstacles or challenges to healing any kind of wound. This Chiron retrograde in Aries is a wound that's been coming to the surface. So this could be relative to power and control issues. This could be relative to the money that you earn, the debt that you have. There could be something connected to that really, it's a wound. It's a wound that needs to be healed. This Mars and Leo, whatever action that you're taking, that's not the intent of this action. You're not trying to heal this wound right now, and that's why the obstacles and challenges are showing up. I'm going to note it here, and we'll come back to it at the end of the month. But on November 7th, we have the pre-shadow starting. So Mercury does station retrograde this month. Pre-shadow starts on the 7th. We'll come back to that when we get there, but it will impact your house of home. Then on the 11th, we have Venus enter the sign of Capricorn. And so that happens at 1:26 in the afternoon Eastern time. So when Venus enters Capricorn, Capricorn ruling your 5th house of fun, so children, hobbies, things like that, Venus loves to bring things together. So there's a lot of harmony, there's a lot of balance, there's a lot of focusing on what you love about your children or your hobbies, things like that. That is going to easily blend with whatever this wound is that needs to be healed. This could be an intimacy wound. That 8th house energy is about intimacy, power and control issues, kind of death and rebirth, things changing for sure. And so really focusing here on what matters does help heal that wound. Where it does create a little bit, it's creating challenges when it comes to getting clear on your relationship goals, thinking of your significant other here. This Venus entering Capricorn does make that a challenging time period to focus on that. Then we have Saturn stationed direct in the sign of Pisces. So that's going to happen on the 15th at 8:21 in the morning Eastern time. So Pisces, again, rules your 7th house of relationships. So thinking of your significant other. When Saturn was retrograde, you were doing a lot of internal work to try and figure out, okay, what does this mean from a relationship standpoint? How do I go after the relationship that I want here? Saturn in Pisces, now that it's direct, you're actually going to start working on your relationship goals here and what that relationship looks like. During this time that Saturn stations direct, it's going to create obstacles and challenges in both your home environment and in your work environment. But both of those relate to growth and expansion. And so what this means is that right now your focus is going to be on working on this relationship. It's not going to be on growing or expanding your career. It's not going to be on something else connected to your home environment that requires your attention right now. It's truly about this relationship. And then we have the full moon in Taurus the same day. So this happens on the 15th at 4:28 p.m. Eastern time. And so what happens here is you have the sun and the moon at opposite points in the sky. We've got the sun in Scorpio sitting in your 3rd house. Communication, short distance travel. Those are probably the two big ones there. Opposite the moon in Taurus in your 9th house, which is growth and expansion, long distance travel. And so you can kind of see a little bit short distance, long distance, maybe talking something out versus maybe a high level philosophy on something. A lot of kind of back and forth on these two, and they're going to have different conversations with planets. But the first thing to note here is we have the moon in Taurus. We also have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so the sun is going to be opposite that energy. So when it comes to the way that you're expressing yourself in a very passionate way, it's going to be opposite to not only how you feel about your growth and expansion, but the changes that are happening for your growth and expansion. Whereas the moon, because it's in close proximity to Uranus, the changes that are taking place for your growth or expansion fully align with how you feel about it. So that's a positive one. And where the sun and the moon are going to have some positive aspects, it's going to be in your significant relationship here and also with your children. And so focusing there, we've got the sun in Scorpio trine Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so this passionate self-expression that you have going on, it's going to easily flow with getting clear on your relationship, getting clear on what you want in this relationship. The moon, how you feel about your growth and expansion, is also going to create an opportunity, another opportunity for you to get very clear on what kind of relationship you want with your significant other. Or again, if you don't have one, what would that look like? We do have again, when it comes to positive aspects, the sun and moon are both having positive aspects to the house of fun, the house of children, passion, your hobbies, things like that. And so the sun will create an opportunity. So the way that you're expressing yourself is passionate self-expression. It's going to create an opportunity for changes to take place in that house of children, passions, things like that. Whereas how you feel about your growth and expansion, now it's going to easily flow with making changes in that house when it comes to your passions, when it comes to children. So really, really strong, positive full moon. And then we have Pluto enter Aquarius. This one is really significant because we won't have Pluto back in Capricorn again in our lifetime. And so we're now with this energy for the next 20 years. We got some tastes of this earlier this year. Love to see it kind of finally coming back because I know I'm ready for it too. So with Pluto and Aquarius for you, this is about liberating changes that are going to be taking place. This is in your sixth house. This is your daily life. Think of the things that you do on a regular basis. That's all part of your daily life. Even including like exercise and diet, that's all included here as well. So I do like to see the changes that are taking place because these are things that are meant to help liberate you, help you grow and expand. During this Pluto in Aquarius, so when Pluto enters Aquarius here, it's going to create an opportunity for you to really express yourself in a deep, passionate way. It's also going to fully align with whatever changes are taking place for your personal growth. It's going to give you an opportunity to get clear on your relationship goals. So in your daily life, I mean, this is really impacting a lot of areas right now. The only places where I see it creating challenge is it will be opposite the moon in Cancer and Mars in Leo. So how you feel about your friends and this internal action that you're trying to take, they're going to be opposite the changes that are taking place in your daily life. And it's more of these things that happen on a regular basis just require your attention right now, and that's the focus. The moon moves very quickly, Mars moves very quickly. This is not an energy that's going to be around for a long period of time. Whereas Pluto and Aquarius, I mean, we're here until 2043. So keep that in mind. And then on the 21st, we have the sun enter Sagittarius. So that's going to happen at 2:57 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so sun in Sagittarius, you already have Mercury in Sagittarius. So it's more of that same type of energy. This would be very kind of honest, direct, maybe blunt conversations that are taking place. Could be the way that you're expressing yourself is just very philosophical, very high level, but very honest at the same time. One thing about Sagittarius, they do not like to be lied to at all. Uh, Actually, I think it's the same thing for Gemini too. It's like the one thing that these two opposing signs really have in common is getting to the truth of the matter. And if you lie to a Sagittarius, that is it. You are done. So honesty is going to be very forthcoming from you, and it's going to be in your house of home. And so honest and direct self-expression at home, that's easily going to blend with whatever actions that you're taking for yourself that are internal. It's going to help you get clear on your relationship or your relationship goals with your significant other. It's going to create an opportunity for changes to take place in your daily life. The only place where it's going to be a little challenging is this opposite Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so this honest and direct self-expression at home, it is going to be opposite to those changes that are happening for your growth. And so It's more of let's focus on the home life as opposed to something else right now. Then we have Mercury stationing retrograde in Sagittarius. So that's going to happen on the 25th at 9:42 p.m. Eastern Time. And so the pre-shadow period began on November 7th. Now it stations retrograde on the 25th. It'll go direct on December 15th, and it will exit the post shadow on January 2nd, 2025. And so Mercury is going to be sitting in this fourth house of home for a while, um, which is, it's good. Um, because all the conversations, getting honest about everything, being very direct and open, now all of that's going to be directed inward because that's what Mercury retrograde is doing. It's about taking that and really directing it inward. So it's being honest with yourself about what is it that you're trying to accomplish at home? What do you want for your home life? Sagittarius is a growth and expansion. What do you want to grow and expand here? The internal aspect of this will be opposite your career. So we've got a fourth house, 10th house. You're internally reflecting on your home life. That's going to create challenges to any kind of internal growth that you're seeking in your career. So it's more of, I'm just focused on my home, not my career at the moment. It is going to trine Chiron retrograde in Aries. So this internal reflection around your home life, it's actually going to help you heal that wound, that intimacy wound, that kind of transformational type of wound, maybe connected to the money that you earn. That wound that's been coming to the surface, as I'm saying it, you probably are already aware of it. We've been dealing with this for a while. This is actually going to help you kind of navigate that. It's going to help you take some sort of action to heal that. Where this Mercury retrograde is creating obstacles or challenges is when it comes to your ideal relationship here. And so, whether it's an existing relationship or you just wanting a relationship that way, because I mean, this is Pisces, so this is think of your goals that you've set for yourself. This internal reflection, being honest about your home life, it's making it very hard for you to focus on a relationship. It's making it hard for you to get clear on exactly what those goals should be, what kind of work you need to put into that relationship in order to make it a success. Not impossible. It's a square energy. It is like a Saturn type of energy. You just have to work through it, but you can. So, Virgo, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.